Hey guys, welcome again back to a new video. How you all doing? Hope you're all good. Hope you're generally fine. Hope you're doing great, guys. Today is going to be an interesting one. Okay, yes, I'm going to show you how to make a flare skirt. We're going to be dealing with the 180-degree flare skirt. We're going to be dealing with 360-degree, 720-degree, and I'll also give you an idea of how to get the higher numbers like the 108 degree and also the 1440 degree flare. Okay, yes, so it's going to be a detailed one. So we'll be in the class using the board and the marker, and also we'll be working on the table at the same time. I hope you understand now. All right, so we're just going to get straight to the board, but I also need to introduce my beautiful friend here. We'll be working together. Hey boy. Hi. Say hello. Aha. Say hello now. Hi. That's my son Daniel. So I need to tell you guys, you might be hearing some noise in the background. So you need to bear with me. If you notice, I usually do audio, okay, to avoid any noise. But because we're going to be using the board marker and all that, so I have to speak for you to hear me. So just in case, I'm sure we're going to be fine. Okay? Yes. So let's just get straight to the board. Let's go. So welcome again, guys. So I'm going to show you how to draft this out. So now I'm going to give you a quick sketch. So this is our skirt. Okay. So this one is the band of the skirt. We're not going to worry about this band later. We just want to focus on the actual length. So the band is going to be 2 inches for this band, while the actual length of this skirt is going to be what? 20 inches for this one. So we're going to focus on the length of 20 inches. Okay, now we set that aside. Now for the waist circumference here, from here to here, the waist is going to be what? 24. That's for the waist. So let's sketch that out. So now the length of the skirt we're working with is what? 20 inches. Okay, why what? The waist is 24. I'll just use this sign to represent inch. Okay, so now we are cutting out what? 180-degree flare. 180 degree. How do we achieve that? Remember that this your waist is going to have a zipper, so I have to add a zipper space of 2 inches. So this my waist now, I'll make it what? 24 plus 2 inches for the zipper space. That makes it what? 26. So we're working with 26 for the waist circumference and 20 for the length. Now, because it's a 180-degree flare, we're going to divide this waist by 3.142. So our 180-degree flare will be dividing what? Our 26 will divide it by what? 3.142. I'm going to click my calculator now. When you divide 26 by 3.142, this is exactly what we have. This is the way it appears, 8.27498 with all the decimals for mathematics students. But I'm going to discard this. Normally, in mathematics, there's a rule for approximating, but I'm not going to do that here. Okay, because when you're cutting out a flare, there's tendency you're going to have some excesses. So I'm just going to ignore this. We're working with only the first number. Okay, so that means our 26 divided by 3.142 is 8. So 8 is the circumference that we are working with. So our circumference now is what? 8 inches. That's what we're going to use to cut our flare. Why? Remember, our length is what? 20 inches. If we add these two together, 8 plus 20, that's going to give us 28 inches. So this 28 inches is what we are going to use to determine the amount of fabric that we're going to work with. So you just need to take note now of these 3 numbers. The circumference is 8, the length of the skirt is 20, while this plus this 28 is what will give us the full fold of our fabric. So let's get to the table. So here is the beautiful print that we're using. And I also have my working tools. So we'll just go ahead and lay the fabric on the table. So we'll get started. So back to the table now. You can see I have my fold here already. And what I have here, if you look at it now, we have that 28. But guess what? I added 0.5 inches to it, which made it what? 28.5. So if you see what we have now, we have 28.5. That extra 0.5 inches is what I will use to join it to the band. But on the lowest part, I'm not going to put any hemming allowance because I'm going to be weaving the edges, okay? So if you know you're going to put a hemming allowance, you're going to hem it, please feel free to add what your hemming allowance added to what the 28. So just like I said, I only need 0.5. That's why what I have here what is 28.5. So you can see this is 28.5, okay? So all I need to do now is to make my triangular fold. You can see how it is now. I'm just going to what? Go ahead and make a triangular fold like this. You can see. So if you make your triangular fold, this is what you have. If you turn it to the other side, you see that what you have here, the cutout, this is where the length is going to stop, okay? All these ones are going to be what? Cut off. These are the excesses that will be cut off. So folding it in your triangular fold now, having it on this unfold part, we are now going to place your tape at the edge here. Placing your tape at the edge here, then you can now get, remember the circumference was 8 inches. So you're going to place your tape here and mark 8 inches all the way. Once you've done that, connect it all together. So if you cross check what you have here now, you see now that we have about 6.5. If you multiply 6.5 by 4, you have what? 26, which is exactly what? The waist circumference that we need. Now for the length, remember that the length is supposed to be 20 inches, right? 20 inches, but you know when we add it up together, it became 28. And remember, I also added 0.5 inches that I said I will hem it to the band. That made it 28.5. So from this edge here, we're going to what? Measure 28.5 all the way. And guys, this is it. So if you check what you have here, you see that you have your actual length of 20 plus 0.5, which is 20.5. I hope you understand. That's it, guys. So going ahead to cut this out now, cut for the waist, then the length. You can see this one is now an excess that will still be useful. And so this is what our 180-degree flare skirt. If you open it up, you can see what you have. So it's giving us what? A half circle, right? And that's just it. So what we need to do now is just what? Fix a band of 2 inches here. After that, you just fix your zipper and that will be it. So this is all I need for my band. You can see this is what? 5 inches in width. That's what I have here. So I can just iron my interfacing, if I want. After that, then I'll fold it into 2. I'll give this a very good press, like so. So we have it this way. You can see this. So all I need to do is to bring my main skirt the way it is. Okay? You can get the center point of this. Just get the center point by folding it into 2. You can give it a little notch at the center here. Indicate the center point here. Then our band as well, I'm just going to hold it down with a pin for the moment. I'll fold my band into 2 like so. You can see this. I'll also get the center point as well, which is this. So all I need to do now is to go ahead and place it, match it up like this, and I'll go ahead and sew. So you can see once you're done stitching, you can see what you have. You can see this. So our skirt is practically ready. All they need to do now is to go ahead what and fix your zipper at the back. Just fix your zipper at the back, because you know the actual length, the waist is going to be 24. So by the time you fold it into two, it's going to be what, 12, right? So you just measure out 12. You can see this is where our 12 stops. So that means the remaining 2 inches is going to serve what as your zipper space. So you're just going to fix your zipper space to where you want it to get to, say about 11 inches downward or 12 inches downward. Then you just sew the remaining part, and guys, your skirt is ready. You can already see how this looks. So let's assume we are going ahead to, we'll fix our zipper now. Let's just close this up like so. By the time you're done, guys, this is it. We've not even sewn it yet. You can see how beautiful this has turned out. You can see this, guys. The skirt is ready. You can see our 180-degree flare skirt is ready. If we write this out, you see that the length of the skirt is 20, while the waist is 24. Okay, now we're going to add a zipper space, because we need a zipper space. So we're adding a zipper space of 2 inches here, so which makes this what, 26. So the waist we're working with now is 26, having in mind that the length is also 20 inches. Okay, so to cut the 360-degree, we're going to what, divide this our waist by what, 26 divided by 6.28. That's to cut what, the circular flare. So I'm punching my calculator now. 26 divided by 6.28. I have what do I have here? I have 4.14021 blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. So we're going to discard all these decimal points. So now here we have 4. Okay, and that 4 we need to know. So we now know that the circumference, which is 4, that's what we're going to use to create the circumference of our flare. Okay, the length is 20. If we add these two together, 4 plus 20, that's going to be what, 24. So these are the what, 3 numbers you should have in mind. So when we're cutting out our flare, we need to use this 4 as the circumference. The length, you take note of it as 20. Then this 24 is what will help us determine the amount of fold of our fabric, and it also help us to cut out the entire length. Okay, easy peasy, guys, easy peasy. Let's get to the drawing table. Let's go. So guys, to cut for the 360-degree flare, this is what I have. You can see I have it folded into 2. This is my fabric. Now for the 360, remember the circumference was 4, the length was 20, we added it to 2, that made it 24. And I said that 24 will determine the width of fold. So I have 24 here, but I'm going to add extra, say 1.5 inches, because I want to hem it. Okay, 1 inch will be for hemming, 0.5 will be to join it to the band. Okay, so adding 1.5 to that 24, that's 25.5. So if I check what I have here, I have 25.5. So 25.5 is what I have here. Okay, now on this longer length, I should also have 25.5 times 2, because I'm going to be folding it now into a square. I hope you get it. If I have 25.5 here, I should have 25.5 times 2. So by the time I bring it together like this, you see that I will also have 25.5. But looking at it, I don't have up to that length. That means I'm going to be doing some joining on this side. So you can see, just to cross check, from here, this is 25.5 already. and I take my tape from there again, or better still, you can just say 25.5 times 2. That's about 51, right? Right? Am I right? 25 plus 25 is 50 now. It's 51. So just check what I have from here to here, and what I have is 46. So which means I need 5 inches extra to make up for 51 inches. And you can see this is folded into 2. So that means I have to spread this open and join to make up the length. So this piece of fabric I have here, you can see I have about in width, what I have here is 6 inches, which is okay. So I'm going to join it now, join this to make up this length. I hope you can see. I'm going to be joining it to make up for the length. So I can do that off camera. I'll quickly go and do that now. So you can see, guys, I've gone ahead to join it. You can see. So I'll just trim off the excesses here. So I'll spread it back again, fold it back into 2 like so. So I have my desired length. So I'll go ahead and fold it again. So you can see we have the square fold now. It's a square fold because all sides are equal. So just to confirm, by the time we place, see we have our 25.5, and this way we also have our what, 25.5. So now we'll just go ahead and cut out for the circumference. Now remember the circumference is 4, right? So just place our tape at the edge here like so. I will measure 4 all the way. Cross check what you have here. You can see you have 6.5 times 4, and that is 26. And the length of the waist circumference is 26. Remember that. So we have exactly what we have. So the next thing, of course, is to just mark upward the remaining length. So from here now, this is our desired length, which is supposed to be what, 20 plus the extra 1.5 for hemming. Okay, yeah. So we're just going to place it at the edge and just mark the what, 25.5 all the way. I hope you understand. So we just place it here and mark our 25.5. So this is a full circle. Where we have this joining, I'm trying to split it so that it will stay at the back. Where we have this our joining, I'll be splitting from that side. So by the time you open this up, you can see what we have. So we have our 360-degree flare. All you need to do is just what, fix your waistband, just like we did for the 180-degree flare. Fix your waistband and fix your zipper, and you're good to go. If you're going to hem it, you hem. If you're going to weave, you weave the edges, and that's it. So going to the 720-degree flare now, I'll just take off this lower part. Excuse me. Take off this lower part. Now for the 720-degree, you know that the 720 means 2 circles. A circle is 360, 720 is 2, because 360 times 2 is what? 720. That's just it. So which means now, the answer we have here, after dividing our waist by 6.28, remember we have 4. This 4 here now, we are going to now divide it again by 2. 4 divided by 2. And that gives us what? 2. So this is the 2 inches what? we are using as a circumference for our 720-degree flare, and that's it. Okay, now taking note of that, our circumference now is now 2. The length of the skirt is what? 20. By the time you add these two together, 2 plus 20, that gives us what? 22. Okay? Circumference is 2, the length is 20, and what? 2 plus 20 is 22 to determine what? The width of fold, and also to get the actual full length of the flare. And that's it. That's it, guys. Okay? And that's about how to cut out this one. So which means for this our 720-degree flare, we're going to be having what? 2 flare, 2 circles. 2 circles that will end up joining together. And that's just it. Okay? If you want to cut out the higher flare, higher number, say 108-degree flare. 108-degree flare means what? Means it was going to be what? 3 circles. 1 circle 360, 2 circle 720, 3 circle what is 108. You can confirm that. Just take your 720 and you add another 360 to it, plus that gives you what? 180 degree. Okay, so if you want to cut this one out, you come down to your 720-degree flare. You know the circumference of what you have is 2, right? Which means the circumference for this one is going to be what? 2 divided by 2, and that's going to give you what? That's it, guys. So which means your circumference now for 108-degree flare is going to be what? 1 inch. Why? Remember the length is 20, right? So by the time you add this up together, you have 20 plus 1, which is what? 21. So this is what we're going to use to cut your flare. So like I said, for this one, you're going to be having what? 3 circles that you end up joining together. That's it for a 180-degree flare. That's it. The same thing goes if you want to cut, what's the next one? 1440-degree flare, which means this one you add another 360 to it, so you have 1440 degree, right? How you get this one as well is to get the circumference of the previous one, which is 1, divide it by 2, and that gives you 0.5. Okay, 0.5. So that means the circumference for the flare of this is going to be 0.5. Added to the length of what? 20 inches. So you have what? 20.5. And that's how you're going to get your fold. So you can see how this is. We started with the 360, and the circumference was 4. The 720, the circumference was 2. For the 108, the circumference is going to be 1. And for the 1440, the circumference is going to be 0.5. So the idea is that the circumference of the previous circle, you just divide it by 2. That's what we did here. You can see for the 360, which was 4. When you got to the 720, you divided this 4 by 2, and the circumference became 2. When you got to this one, you divided the circumference of this one by another 2, you got 1. When you got to the next number, you divided the circumference of this one by 2, you got 0.5. That is how to get it. So all you need to do, once you get that right, then you'll be able to get your phone. And you also have to have in mind the number of circles you have. The 360 will give you 1 flare. 720 is going to give us 2 flare. This will give us 3 flare. This one will give us 4 flare. That's 4 circles joined together. Okay, and that's it, guys. Easy peasy. So now we'll get this right now. So we're just going to go ahead now and cut out what for our 720-degree flare, which is going to give us what? 2 circles. Having in mind what? Circumference of 2, length of 20, and the total, which is what? 22. Let's get to drawing table. Once you're done with that, you can actually do the other ones, okay? Because the focus of this tutorial was just for the 180, 360, and the 720. So all these ones are just Jara. I hope you get that right. So let's get to drawing table, guys, and let's finish up with this. So and here guys, for the 720-degree flare, this is our fold. You can see folded into two first. Remember again that the 720-degree flare, the circumference is 2, right? The circumference is 2 plus the length of 20, making it 22. And that 22 should determine the width of our fold. So 22 plus 0.5 inches, which I'm going to use to join it to the band because I'm going to be weaving the edges. That made it what? 22.5. So you can see what I have here is what? I have 22.5 here. Okay. Then on this side, I should also have double of 22.5. So by the time I make my fold like so, into 2, so folded into 4 now, I should be able to have 22.5 on this side. You can see I have my 22.5, and on this side I will also have what? 22.5. Okay, and that's it. So you see the way it is now, we have to get double of it, which is exactly what I have here as well, because what it needs to give us 2 circles, just like we explained. So you can see I have this folded as well into 4, and confirming it as well, I have the same measurements. So in 2.5 I will get on this side. On this side I should also have what? 22.5. Okay, so let's mark on this first before we cut everything together. So now that we have gotten that, all we need to do is just to get the circumference. Remember the circumference was 2, right? So I'm just going to mark 2 inches, place it at the edge here, and mark what? My 2 inches. Just take it all the way around. Connect it all together. Go ahead and cross check. Just cross check like I'm doing so. So here I have about 3.5. 3.5 into 2 is already 7. 7 again times 2, that's 14. So 3.5 times 4 is 14, which is already more than what we need. So we'll have excesses to trim out, okay? That's one thing about flare, just like I said. So we have we'll be able to get 14 on this side, and we should also get that 14 on this side as well, okay? Yeah, so by the time you match it up together, that's 28, and you know that the waist is already 26. That's why I said we already have excesses to trim out, okay? Yeah, so all I need to do now is to also get the circumference of the lowest part, which is supposed to be 20, right, for the length, 20, but because we are working with the full length, which is 22.5, so I'll go ahead and mark my 22.5 all the way. You can see this, guys. So all I need to do is to cut here out and also cut the other way. So I'd like to place the other one. I'll place it on top, so I'll just cut out everything together. So you can see this now. So we have double circle. So what I'm going to do is to split it on one side. By the time you open this up, you can see what you have. So we're just going to join it together. I use my pin to demonstrate that. So by the time you're done joining it, you have it in one piece. You can see this now. It's a wide one. You can see. So this is what our 720-degree flare. So all you need to do, just like we did for the other ones, you're going to have your band of 20. Just take your band and attach it. Sew it all the way. After attaching your band, you go ahead and fix your zipper. And of course, if you're hemming, you hem. If you're going to weave, you weave it all the way down. So you can see that once you can do this now, flare cuts is going to be very, very easy for you. Whether you're making it for a skirt, short or long or mini skirt, for you're going to be attaching it to a top, like a peplon, blouse, whatever it is, it's easy for you to achieve. Guys, we've come to the end of this one, and I really hope you find this helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that. Remember to on your icon, your bell icon, so you always get notified whenever I upload my weekly videos on this channel. A big thank you to my subscribers. You guys know I always appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you're new here, I also want to say thank you all for showing up. Okay, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, please like and share. Don't just watch and go. Share, like. Okay, this really help me. Okay, I will really appreciate it as always. Thank you once again, guys. See you on the next one. Have a beautiful day. Bye.